This is the Yankees Postcast, your instant game reaction for the New York Yankees. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, the Yankees began the day tied atop the American League East with Toronto. The Yankees will finish the day tied atop the American League East with Toronto. Both the Yanks and the Blue Jays win. The Yankees beat the Orioles in the Bronx, first of three, final score 8-4. Toronto at home beats Tampa Bay 4-2. And again, both teams now 92-68. Giancarlo Stanton hit 2 home runs tonight. Aaron Judge hit another one as well. Will Warren lasted just 5, gave up 4 runs, but does earn the victory. Again, 8-4 the final score as the Yankees win. 4-2 the final score as the Blue Jays win. 2 days left, 2 day games left, and then it's the postseason. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you aboard. You can follow me on X as well, at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees Postcast, both on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The Postcast, which is this, gives you a place to chat after every single game. It's what we do. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And we will start firing right out of the gates.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, as we said, an 8-4 Yankee win, which was pretty breezy, if I do say so myself. Yanks scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first, courtesy of a Giancarlo Stanton home run. Numbers 22 and 23 tonight for Stanton. More on that coming up. But again, the home run in the first inning gave the Yankees a 2-0 lead. It's not something we haven't seen before. The Yanks have now hit 48 first-inning home runs, a major league record. They had been tied with the 2023 Braves for 47 first-inning home runs in a season. The Yanks hit number 48 tonight, and as we said, gets them off to a great start against a really good pitcher in Trevor Rogers, who didn't have it tonight, his shortest outing of the season. He came in, by the way, through just 3 innings and allowed 6 runs. His ERA after today, 1.81. So it just goes to show how good he's been. In fact, the Yanks hit 3 home runs tonight. Stanton hit 2, Judge hit 1. All off Rogers. Rogers gave up 3 home runs in the first 13 batters of the game. For what it's worth, Rogers allowed 3 home runs total coming into tonight, the entire season. And he dropped 3 big ones tonight, really in about 3 innings, because after 3, it was 6-3 Yanks. It was 2-0 after 1. Then the Jacob Westberg 3-run shot off Will Warren in the third actually gave Baltimore the lead 3-2. But again, the Yanks plate 4 in the bottom of the third, and they never looked back. As for Stanton, he drove in 5 tonight with those 2 home runs. And as we said, numbers 22 and 23 on the season for the big guy. Career home runs, numbers 451 and 452. It ties him with Carl Yastrzemski for 40th place on the all-time home run list. He is now 10 shy of 39th place, which is 462 home runs. Jose Canseco was one of them. And again, 462 home runs. By the way, the other player, Adam Dunn. So again, Canseco and Dunn have 462, Stanton at 452, tied with Yastrzemski for 40th place on the all-time home run list. As for Judge, the home run, his 52nd of the season. He drives in 2 runs tonight, now has 111. Now, remember, Stanton obviously has not played a full season but the numbers are still pretty good for Stanton. As we said, home runs numbers 22 and 23. He also drove in 5, now has 64 ribbies. So 23 home runs and 64 ribbies when he missed several months to start the season. So it just goes to show. Now, he's not DHing, or at least there was a section of time where he wasn't DHing and playing the field. If Aaron Judge had stayed healthy, obviously Stanton would be the full-time DH. If Stanton had stayed healthy and Judge had stayed healthy, well, Stanton would have had an amazing year, 30 and 100 easily. Just goes to show how good he's been, even with struggles over the course of this season, at least the portion that he has played. By the way, Yanks are now 10-0 in the regular season when Giancarlo Stanton has a multi-home run game. That's all of his years as a Yankee. Again, 10-0. The Yanks don't lose in the regular season when Giancarlo Stanton hits a home run. Speaking of which, that's a perfect opportunity to tell you about this.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yeah, indeed, it was the turning point. The second Stanton home run put the Yanks ahead for good. As we said, a 4-run bottom of the third. And as we said, all 3 of those home runs, 2 of which were incredibly far, came out from Trevor Rogers, who was terrible tonight. As we said, he's been brilliant all year for a bad team, no less. Orioles are 75 and 85 now. And Rogers was 9-2 coming in with an ERA right around 1.5. Obviously, things did not go well tonight. As we said, 3 innings, 6 earned, and 3 home runs through just 52 pitches. And to repeat, allowed 3 home runs total coming into tonight. Amazing stuff. As for Will Warren, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned, 1 walk, 7 Ks. He too allowed several home runs, 2 of them, in fact. He did get pulled in the 6th. He'd thrown only 81 pitches, but again, did allow 2 home runs. So Warren finishes the season, his rookie season, a fabulous rookie season for Will Warren. 33 starts, which, considering before the Cole injury and before the heel injury, if I had told you Will Warren would start 33 games, well, you would have said, no way, get out of here, Jay. Well, that's exactly what happened. His season ERA finishes at 4.44, 171 strikeouts over 162 and a third innings pitched. And again, Will Warren gets the win today, number 9 on the season, finishes the season 9-8. Now, as for the bullpen, want to pay close attention here. Lots of high leverage guys tonight. Obviously, at this point, it's all hands on deck, especially when you're scoreboard watching. And please don't tell me any player doesn't scoreboard watch. It's completely natural. It's understood. In fact, it's part of the game. I don't know how you play a game not knowing what you need to do. Topic for another day. Anyways, Mark Leiter Jr. did not allow a run tonight. Tim Hill did not allow a run tonight. Either did Fernando Cruz, Camilo Doval, or David Bednar. So again, Leiter, Hill, Cruz, Doval, and Bednar combined to throw 4 innings, did not allow a run. There were a few walks in there. In fact, 5 walks from the bullpen tonight. And believe it or not, just 6 strikeouts. However, 7 Ks for Will Warren. So the Yanks combined to strike out 13 Orioles tonight. All right, we'll take a quick break. We got to do player of the game. We also have to update you on the Boston game because very important to see exactly what happens. Now, as you know, if the Yankees don't capture the division and they have to beat the Blue Jays by a game because they don't own the tiebreaker, Toronto does. If the Yanks don't win the division, they would start the playoffs on Tuesday in the Bronx. The Yanks have clinched the top spot in the American League wild card race, which means they will begin on Tuesday if they're the wild card. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, best of 3. We know Max Fried will start on game 1. Game 2 will belong to, obviously, Carlos Rodon. What's interesting is Cam Schlittler, who will start tomorrow on Saturday for the Yankees, he's the one that's lined up to pitch game 3 if needed. So very interesting setup here with the rotation moving forward. Anyways, we'll do player of the game. We'll tell you about Boston coming up next. All right, guys, you've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. Maybe you've even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougiette Go Long. That's exactly where Rougiette's Go Long comes in. This isn't just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. Go Long combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual-action formula so you can get hard and go the distance. The effects can last up to 36 hours. That's confidence all day, all night, and even into the next day. The process is simple. Connect with a board-certified doctor 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly right to your door. How about that? Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Well, head to Rougiette.com, Rugiet.com. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for 15% off your first order. That's Rougiet.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Make sure to use our code so they know we sent you. All right, up next is FanDuel. The NFL season is here. Thank the good Lord. And FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it fits however you like to bet. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, easy, and the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. So are you ready to play? Well, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. All right, we are back, and without further ado, our favorite segment of the show.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
All right, so as we told you, Giancarlo Stanton hit not 1 but 2 home runs tonight, drove in 5. He was the offensive star, and he's getting the game ball from me tonight. Stanton hit home runs numbers 22 and 23 on the season, and as we pointed out earlier, he now tied Carl Yastrzemski for 452 home runs career. That's 40th place on the all-time home run list. As we said, 10 short of Adam Dunn and Jose Canseco, who are at 462. They're next up on the list. And also worthy of repeating, since we're talking about game balls and Giancarlo Stanton, the Yanks are now 10-0 in the regular season when Stanton has a multi-home run game. Now, most of the Yankees starters had hits tonight. Ahmed Rosario did not. Austin Slater did not. Jose Caballero did not. Everybody else had at least 1 hit. Cody Bellinger and Giancarlo Stanton each had 2 hits. And speaking of Bellinger, made a point before the game started to make sure you knew this. Bellinger entered 7 for the last 43. He's been ice cold. Well, he goes 2 for 2 tonight and walked twice. So he will not get percentage points on the average for the walks, but he reached base 4 times, had 2 hits, so he's 9 for his last 45. Nothing to write home about, but again, maybe tonight was the spark that Bellinger needed moving forward. All right, we told you Cam Schlittler will start on Saturday. Luis Gil will start on Sunday. Now, if everything goes to plan and the Yankees and Blue Jays do exactly what they do, both winning or losing, and they finish tied, Toronto will take the division. Yanks will be the wild card, and they'll start on Tuesday. However, if the Yanks beat the Blue Jays by a game and win the division, obviously they'll have a bye, and they won't play till the following week. So a huge advantage. Now, no matter what happens, the Yanks will have home field regardless of the round they play in next, either the wild card round or the divisional round. If they win the division, they'll obviously have home field in the divisional round. if they win the wild card, they'll have home field there against the second wild card team, which at the moment is the Boston Red Sox, which is just amazing. The Red Sox won again tonight. They walked off the Detroit Tigers, who are just falling hard. The Red Sox are 88-72, so they're 2 up now on the Tigers for the second wild card spot. So it looks like it'll be, if the Yankees finish in the wild card, Yanks and Red Sox. If not, then obviously it would be Toronto and the Red Sox, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, 2 games left, 2 days left. Schlittler on Saturday, Heel on Sunday. Here are the start times. Tomorrow we're going before the Blue Jays and the Rays. So the Yanks will try and put the pressure on Toronto. Yanks and Orioles are at 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. Tampa and Toronto at 3 o'clock Eastern. So they will be overlapping at least the latter stages of the Yankees game. So the Yankees can put the pressure on Toronto by winning tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. All right, Schlittler on Saturday, Heel on Sunday, and then that's it. Thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen every day. For your second listen, find the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On and MLB. That is on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime at Locked On Yankees, Stacey Goutsoulias and Brian McKean. They do a heck of a job at Locked On Yankees. It's all theirs. So follow, subscribe, and enjoy. All right, you know the situation, folks. 48 hours from now, we'll know who the Yanks are playing in the first round of the playoffs. The question is, for them, is that first round of the wild card round or the divisional round? 2 games left. Saturday at 1 against the Orioles. Sunday at 3 against the Orioles. Toronto has 2 games left against Tampa Bay in Toronto. Both Saturday and Sunday for them will begin at 3 o'clock Eastern time. We, of course, will be with you immediately following tomorrow's game. You better be there as well, because I'll be. Have a wonderful night after a Yankee win. Take care, everybody.